over 1,000 terrorists here, sleeper cells, that can be activated. And that was from an ex-CIA advisor, someone who said 2025 will be the year of these attacks. January 1st, we have 2. And the thing about New Orleans and the thing about Las Vegas, they may be tied together. They served on the same battalion in the military. They rented from the same company. And they did it on the same day. Have you seen New York City? There is pro-Hamas rallies, pro-terror rallies going on right now. The amount of people that is there that's supporting the same things that just happened with New Orleans and what happened across the world. Are we allowing this in our streets? What are we doing? Are we really safe in the cities? And if you lived in the city, you better make sure that you are carrying. And I'm not talking about carrying just a water glass or carrying a watch. I'm talking about carrying something that can protect you. Let's dive into these stories and a few more. Some of these stories are absolutely crazy. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up, that means the world to us, and we humbly ask that you do that. Also remember, we have a new video coming out on the Life with Colby Mac today on that other channel. It's the 7th video of the series, so please go check it out. It's just the story of our life and what we're doing on a daily basis. Very uplifting and allows you to see the lighter side of our farm and also as we prep and take care of our families. Now, we are going to do a giveaway at the very end of this video and at the end of Life with Colby Mac video and Misty's video as well, just to say thank you for everyone that subscribed to our channel in December. So we're going to get some information of yours after we release the name. Now let's jump into these stories because they are serious. First, let's talk about the connection with New Orleans and Las Vegas. Maybe nothing, but you can't tell me that these two individuals who both rented from the same company, their cars, to commit these heinous crimes. Now, you say, oh, that's easy. There's not a lot of car rental companies in America. I mean, what's the difference? Okay, these both were serving in the military under the same battalion. They served in the same military base. So is there something we should be looking at with how these people are trained? Is there other things that they're learning? Are they getting radicalized some way? Now, these were both telltale signs. One, a little bit more of terror in New Orleans, and one assigned directly defying Trump and Elon. Now, I want to read this quote from Sarah Adams. And Sarah Adams, if you have not listened to her, you need to. And I've listened to her several times on Sean Ryan's show. But everybody's starting to talk about what she has said. But she's been saying this for a long time. This is information from a CIA targeter, a former CIA targeter. Sarah Adams is warning of our GC U.S. homeland attack of retaliation when it comes to Soleimani and to Trump. She says there is 1,000 or more terrorists may already be here, and they have invisible bombs that are undetectable. She said, what we don't understand is these are the kind of people that will walk up and blow up the building like we've seen in the Middle East. We've allowed them to come into America through so many different facets. They talk about the flying in, they talk about the border, they talk about so many different elements, but what she's saying is we've seen this happening. We've been warning you that this is going to take place because of the policies that we've seen in the last 4 years, and now it's going to come to fruition. We look at New York. Look at New York. Have you seen the footage of New York? It says it's going to happen again. This is Manhattan tonight, where they're chanting globalist infantana. Hours after they saw what happened, hours after what happened in Las Vegas and New Orleans. He said there's so many people, thousands upon thousands, marching the streets with no one holding them in accountability. Now, this is happening in your cities. These were all major cities. Are you taking care of your family and taking care of yourself in these cities? Have you learned to figure out what self-defense is and making sure that you can have the right to carry? You need to make sure you understand the severity of what we're going through, the risk. Now that kind of leads me to another story where Trump is actually holding a rally January 19th. This is the day before the inauguration. Now, with everything that's just went on, are we sure that we can keep him safe? Are we sure that we can keep the president that everybody from the managerial class, the establishment classes, already had attempts on his life, at least 2 that they know of. And now they're seeing direct correlation with these attacks. Look at Las Vegas. You don't think that was you don't think that was planned? A cyber truck in front of Trump Tower? So is he at risk? Is this smart policy for him to do this? Now, I hope and pray that he has the right people around him, but do we really want to put him in a very precarious situation when it comes to inauguration or the day before, having one of the biggest events that he's ever had as a rally? I want you to listen to someone else. Now, we just heard from a former CIA targeter that works specifically with Middle East countries. Listen to this. Former FBI agent claims the attack last night were performed by sleeper cells. He says, this is scary. This guy is in the military, radicalized at some point. And why is he following these activities? And where did he learn this way from? Two people from the same military base, renting from the same company, doing the attack on one day, the first day of the year. Two more stories I want to bring up real quick. And they're not dealing with this, but again, it just shows the leadership problems we have in America. There's a new report that says the U.S. government is also providing $3.4 billion more to pay for salary of the Ukrainian government, of school employees and healthcare workers and first responders. So it's amazing. We struggle paying for things here, like in North Carolina, like in Hawaii, like in other places where we are in disputes with teachers and public workers. But then we can take $3.4 billion that could benefit raises for our public education. It could benefit people that actually serve and meritorious should have raises because of what they're doing in leadership. No. We don't want to do that. We don't want to benefit that. We want to give to the Ukrainian school system and their salaries, their government, and to pay their pensions. Now, you don't believe that is a wrong approach? So we have two major attacks yesterday, and then a new report where Biden is sending 3.4 more billion over to cover their uses as a government. So where's the focus here on America? Why are we not focused on America? This is the part that we've got to get right. I've not seen it with the transition. We've seen some great appointments from Trump, but we see that really Washington has not changed. You got Mike Johnson, you got John Thune, then you got a bunch of bureaucrats still running these organizations and agencies. What is going to change? And if we don't change it, we're going to see more of these kind of simple things where cities are in panic, where there's problems after problems after problems. You know, I usually don't talk about movies too much, but Angel Studios had the movie Homestead that just came out. You're talking about prepping for something that could be pretty big. I mean, we're not to a point where that's all hypotheticals and that's all craziness now. It is simply the way of life that we live in that we could see. I mean, listen, you know how many times I've been down to, that's in New Orleans, that's the French Quarter that Bourbon Street's on. That area, my wife and I have stayed several times. If you go back and look at pictures, probably in the community post on YouTube, you'd see a picture where we're standing on the Royal Sonesta balcony. It overlooks a few of the French Quarter streets, and one of those is Bourbon. This is how real it is that our cities are being overrun, and they could be attacked at any point. Are you protecting yourself? Are you learning how to prep? Are you learning how to be safe? I think of New York, and I think of New Orleans, I think of Miami, I think of all these places. Like New Orleans, there's one way in, one way out. You're just in like a bowl because it's lower than the sea level. I mean, there's just one way in, one way out when it comes to crossing the bridges. A Pontchartrain. New York, same way. There's only one way in, one way out. Miami, one way in, one way out. Some of these places are so dangerous because of the location and how the sleeper cells may utilize what they want to do and have their will on people because we least expect something like this to take place. I think about October 7th, the attack on Israel. We could see that here. Sarah Adams, the former CIA agent, the former CIA targeter, and also the former FBI agent, both were saying this is happening right here, and you better prepare because there's going to be more of it. This is just the start and the beginning. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and this is a pretty big story. Joe Rogan shared this, and Mario Nafal shared it as well. But it said, ChatGPT tried to copy itself to stay alive. It tried to copy itself and override its own coding because it believed it was getting switched off. Now, what that means is AI is now developing almost AGI technology to where if it feels threatened or feels like it's going to be shut down, it can then try to rewrite its own code to try to stay alive. I think of like all these dystopian movies, but When you hear AI is literally replicating itself, changing itself, and almost thinking for itself, what have we done? We've built a monster to where then it's going to rule over us if we're not careful, because when we try to build a new code, I mean, they were just trying to build a new version of it, and the old version was trying to rewrite code so it would not get shut down. That's scary. I think of, I know, again, a movie reference, I just said I don't do a lot of this, but think of Age of Ultron and the Avengers, where he kept writing more code to where all he did was just jump from one place to the other. That's how viruses happen. That's how security breaches happen. When AI is so smart that we as humans cannot grasp its availability and also its capability when it starts rewriting its own code. We've now went from artificial intelligence to literally AGI, or a form of it building its own intelligence to make it more important to itself than it is to humans. Remember, AI was supposed to be good for humans, to help them do more things. What we're seeing now is AI may be growing and building capabilities to where it looks out for itself and not you. I mean, have we seen the movies I, Robot? Have we seen these dystopian films? We're now living it. So from Homestead, and that's talking about the fact of terror and things happening in our world and we're not ready for, to cities in panic, to now we look at AI as rewriting its own code so it can be smarter than us. What are we looking for when it comes to crazy times in 2025? Guys, let me know your thoughts on these stories. These are some crazy things happening. And then all the while, Joe Biden is sending more money to Ukraine instead of taking care of our situations here at home, worrying about the safety and security and the breaches like they had in the Treasury Department last week. No, we're worried about Ukraine. It's unbelievable. Now, before we end, let's go over who won the prize package. Basically, it's just a bunch of stuff that we've made that we get from our sponsors. Also, some great things that you can put up in prepping supplies we want to send to you. Now, we're going to give one out here on the Max. Also, the Life with Colby video came out today, or coming out today. We are actually going to be doing another giveaway on that channel, so that way you'll be just again to say thank you for being a part of both channels. And then Misty has a video coming out tomorrow. Her giveaway will be on that video. So we'll do 3 giveaways with 3 channels. So the winner of today's video is Howie Outdoors. Howie Outdoors. It shows that you are subscribed to our channel, shows that you have commented over 100 plus times, which is a blessing. Thank you so very much for watching our channel. You watched the last 3 videos, so it's cool to see the spotlight that YouTube has done. And we go through that, we put it in a list, it randomly selects, and Howie Outdoors, you are the winner of today's prize. Reach out to us via email, themaxhappyhomestead@gmail.com. The email link is below. Email us so we can get some information and send your gift packet out for the December winning. Also, remember, check out the other videos for other winners on the other channels. Thank you guys so very much for watching. We want to be a shining light and talk about prepping and homesteading and talk about how life should be better and more sustainable. But sometimes these news things could just get us down. I mean, there's a lot of weight just happening right now in this last week. But always remember that as long as you're prepared, as long as you're trying to take care of yourself, as long as you're doing more sustainable things, each and every day getting a little bit better, I promise you there is hope. And of course, hope comes from God. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.